need the whole left side. Every seat by the window, I need the whole back of the bus. Everybody, move over. You too, slide your feet over. Everything by this window, I need this. All these seats. Move over, thank you. Excuse me, thank you. Look. He deserve an EGOT, he hot, colored like a peacock. Idiot, slapper, scrapper, mad rapper, D-dot. Bad dopper, clapper, bad rapper. 3 shots, lethal weapon, lethal injections through off your T-top. JFK smiling down through the treetops. Like hold your head, my nigga, wait for the beat drop. Old niggas wagging fingers like it's bebop. Cowboys and girls whistling world like it's teapots. My pen to make your arm heavy G-shot. While your mom trolling steady on the G-cop. Lights up, mics up. Guess who's Bizak? Let's get these likes up. Guess who's Bizak? Back on the block with them O's. It is back. It is time once again for the This, That, and the Third Morning Show. I am your host, Charles Brown. We are live. How are you guys doing this morning? Right? Yeah, this is the first morning back in a long time. This is the first morning back in at least, it's been about 9 days, I want to say. All right. We need the whole left side. CNI in the building. Good morning, guys. How are we doing? How do we sound? Let me know. Let me know. Are we peaking? What's going on? All right. Let's get started, man. Listen, I appreciate you guys rocking with me once again. We are back with the morning show. Always some new changes around here, as you can see. Let me check the chat. Tizzy's in the building. Salute. Right? The earliest I've ever been. Yeah, it might be. What's going on? CNI in the building. Salute. Bethany. How are you today, Bethany? All right. I'm back on vacation, right? I'm back to work. The employees of the year, yeah, they're back to work. They took time off, and all the rappers got jerked. That's that old EPMD. Pretty Mimi. Good morning, right? When we definitely got to give God the glory. It's a beautiful day. I told you I'll be listening to a lot of these space YouTube videos. They get bleak, gang. Once you realize how deep space really is, you start to lose focus of things. You got to center yourself and realize God is real. Because if you don't, space is so vast, you'll lose your mind thinking about it, gang. Keep it a buck. All right. Let me see who else in here besides Bethany and Mimi and C and I. Jinxie, good morning, Jinxie. All right. Let me see what else going on before we get it cracking. Positivity. All right. Positively Bees. Nash is here. Gang, this is my first show back since I went back down to DC. I went to the National Museum of History. A lot of good stuff in there. We saw the bison, right? And then you forget or you don't remember how devious people got when they took this country from the Native Americans. They killed all the bison so they wouldn't have no food source. So they could make them fold up and consent to go into those reservations. Gang, it's crazy. It's a horrible story what they did to the bison, but conservationists saved them. And they still are here. So I saw the bison. I saw the dinosaurs in the museum, Tyrannosaurus Rex and this, that, and the third. And what else we seeing there? We saw the Hope Diamond, right? Whole lot of stuff going on. So it was a good vacation, right? Went to a lot of good eateries down there in D.C. D.C. is a great place. It's changed a lot. It does not look like it used to, gang. I'm going to keep it a buck. But I suggest you get down to the nation's capital, even if the administration is not that favorable right now. The journey was good. It didn't even feel like they were the administration, gang. It just felt like the capital city. It didn't feel like nothing was different, gang. I was just glad to be back home. All right, but now I'm back here. Sassy K in the building. What's good? Quickie Sticky. All right. Queen Liquid. Oh, yeah, we getting back to work this morning. I don't know if y'all know, but there's a lot going on, right? Carly. And feel free to run them jewels this morning. Couch Potatoes in the building. All right. Ethan. Let's see what else going on. Lady Louisa. I think I said Bing already. All right. Rich B in the building. Cat Williams. We are back. We are alive. It's a lot going on. There's a lot of stuff people are talking about and a lot of stuff people are not talking about. Right? It's a lot of stuff going on. You saw me. I've been going for the last 4 days since I got back home. I've been trying to autocorrect some of this nonsense, and I still got I still got a couple people to hit. But I did hit Dame Dash last night for just being a crybaby, the boss baby. And I hit Ice and Ish. When I first touched down, I got Ice and Ish for that nonsense, talking about Drake's pen, right? He got the right to threaten any rapper he want just to show him that his pen still work and that he still, if he got to punch somebody in the mouth in the schoolyard to show that his pen still work, we had to correct them on that one because he can't punch nobody in no mouth because his pen is done. So I had to hit them. Who else did I hit? Had to hit Ray Daniels for that nonsense he was talking about, and da 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 da. All right. Let me see. We got a little bit. Let me fix the mic. Journey says it's a little static. All right. Did I see the fight? Clarissa Shields fight. We're gonna talk about that. I did not see the fight, but I know she won, if I'm not mistaken. I did not necessarily see the fight though. But I'm going to talk about that. Apparently, Latto has chosen a side, right? And I guess Latto is rocking with Clarissa Shields. We are going to talk about that before we get out of here. All right. Keys to Success is in the building. Intrepid Vixen in the building. Listen, the morning show is back. We are running jewels already. I appreciate you guys for running the jewels. C&I running jewels, right? Let me see. I saw some more jewels. Jewels. That thing gonna pick me up saying jewels and think I'm saying something else one day. I'm gonna keep it a buck. Intrepid Vixen running the Star Jewels. You're a star, right? Flash Burnt in the building. Tiff in the building. All right. Snarky T's running Jewels. Early morning Jewels, guys. Early morning Jewels. Summertime. I love it. Ms. Hum is running the Jewels, right? Guys, if you guys can, I keep seeing people saying, I want to support, but I don't know how to run the jewels, right? I don't have a necessarily a tutorial of how to run the jewels. I think you got to go in the comments, I guess, and I think you click gifts or something like that. So I don't know the exact process of how to run the jewels, but I do know that it's not too difficult. All right. I think the jewels are right in the comment section. It's a little button. So for those asking, because people are like, I want to do it, but I don't know how. So I can't really say exactly how to do it, but I think it's in the comment section. All right, Ms. Hummus figured it out running the jewels. I appreciate you. In the comment section, they got a little button about gifts or something. I'll run through it one day, but it's pretty simple. Once you see it, you can't unsee it. All right, One Eye Layer in the building. Miss Lachelle in the building. All right. I think I said couch potatoes and done deal. I think I said that already. Guys, listen. Let's get to it. I'm going to get to that Clarissa Shields story. That was supposed to be in the title, but I changed it for the racist attack on Snoop Dogg doll. All right. And I'm going to get to that, okay? But first things first. Do you guys know that we are, and I got a new follow-up video coming about Tyga. But they are dragging Tyga for this AI stuff, which he should be dragged, right? Tyga got a perfect 0, right? Tyga got a perfect 0 on his album, his new album, Star. Hold on, what's this guy's album? Give me a second. Star something, Starface. He got a perfect 0. Deserved, guys. It was deserved. And people are clowning him for that. And I got a follow-up video coming later that I'm going to talk more in depth about Tyga. Like, Tyga's been bugging out since he started, right? We just never paid attention to Tyga too closely. He's been bugging out since he started in the business. And we're going to talk about that later. But most people are coming down on Tyga about this Starface album with the perfect 0, which is wild, right? He got a perfect 0 from Pitchfork. And this is the only time that people agree with Pitchfork. Most of the time people get it. They get in their feelings about Pitchfork because it always hits their favorite artist at some point, right? At one point, people get upset about Pitchfork reviews to some degree, but they hit this one on the head. Now, with that being said, many people don't realize Kanye is getting sued for using AI, right? Remember, he said he already told us he was using AI, but now he's being sued. by a producer who says he never paid him back. The guy went and claims that he helped Kanye on Bullies and Vultures too, and he never paid him back. So I want to get to that. Let me get this picture up here, because this is a story that a lot of my contemporaries are not talking about. And I put a story up. I put the follow. I have more detail on my Patreon. I did a video last night on my YouTube and Patreon members account. That was last night. And I'm just going to touch on it here. If you want more details, it's on my Patreon. But he's getting sued over AI work that he rushed somebody in to help him with Vultures too and Bully, and he didn't pay the guy. And I believe the guy, gang. I'm gonna keep it a buck. I believe him. I believe him. I believe that Ye didn't take all the AI off of Bully. Now, some people say he did, right? Some people say he did. But I think it was Mike Dean that said he went in and he took all the AI off of Kanye's album, and he helped him reset it to some degree, and the finished product that you got contains no AI. Well, a lot of people felt that was true, and I think they ran AI detectors on it. I'm not sure, but I know when they first ran AI detectors on it, on Vultures, people discovered or felt that Vultures had AI as well, right? So Kanye, to me, I don't know if he's looking at it like it's just a tool, right? Or I think Ye was getting creatively bankrupt and he was getting lazy. I'm just gonna keep it a buck. Tyga using AI is one thing. Tyga was never considered this genius anyway, right? But Kanye is a musical genius, but it's just a fact. Now, he himself admitted that Bully was at one point 50% AI. This is not a conjecture. This is not something that people are pinning on him. He didn't say Vultures was AI, but he did say Bully was AI 100%. 50% of it. I made videos about it and everything, right? So that's not a debate, but the debate is, did he grab this producer to help him with the AI? Because AI is very, believe it or not, when you get higher levels of AI, it gets more complicated, right? So he brought somebody in because he didn't know how to use it like this guy knew how to use it. The guy can't claim he made hundreds of templates and this, that, and the third, helped them with the voice production and everything. So while we're clowning Tyga for the AI usage, right? While we're clowning Tyga for the AI usage, we got to remember Kanye did the same exact thing. And no one's talking about it. But let's read this. I want to have this conversation. Kanye West, aka Ye, was sued by an anonymous producer. He called himself John Doe in a Los Angeles Superior Court over unpaid compensation and uncredited AI vocal work allegedly used on Vultures 2 and the Bully Project. And this is according to Rolling Stone. Okay, so Rolling Stone usually fleshes these stories out before they bring them to you. So they're not going to have a lot of conjecture and nonsense. They're going to check their sources. They're going to run down and make sure all the eggs are in a basket. All right. So let me continue. The plaintiff is an anonymous freelance producer, right? And he alleges that he was hired on an emergency basis just 2 days before Vultures 2 dropped in August 2024. So Ye been dealing with this AI stuff for a long time, allegedly. And he created over 400 vocal generations, 13 custom AI voice models, and later contributed to similar AI vocal work to Bully, right? The suit alleges breach of contract, unjust enrichment, and unpaid wages credit, contradicting statements that Bully did not use AI. Gang, this is, if you care what Kanye is into, and if you believe him that he took all the AI off, this is a revelation, right? This is a revelation. Couch Potato said, I think it may be some backroom deals going on with AI companies and some artists that we're unaware of. And that's why it looks so weird to us. I think this is the thing. Let me move back. My bad, Tom. Let me move the mic back. I think what's going on, right? I think what's going on is they are paying these artists a chunk of money to normalize AI. There's a lot of money out there to normalize AI. Okay? A lot of money to normalize it. And just like with steak, you go and get a Drake or you go and get somebody of some stature, just like they did with Ciroc with Diddy. I just watched a video about how Diddy took Ciroc from, like a small company struggling to make money to a multi-million-dollar conglomerate. You go and get a person who is famous. So they are betting their money on famous artists. That is why Tyga came out saying he used it, and he was so blatant about it because he was hesitant, but at the same time, he was unapologetic because they are in bed with some of these labels want AI to work. Some of these labels want AI to work, and the AI companies get a lot of money when these guys sign up to these monthly fees to use it. So these people really want AI to become normalized. Now, I say this all the time. It's not that AI is bad for everything, right? You use it for this, that, and the third stuff that's just information or whatever. That's one thing. But when you start creating lyrics to songs, slapping your name on them, that's where we have a problem. That's why Kalani and Doja Cat are having issues with it, because people sit down with their pen, right, and write these things and make these records, and they're claiming them that these are part of themselves, and then you come out with a quote unquote AI slot, right? And Dr. 3 said Kanye, Tyga, Lupe, Timbaland, etc. They all use AI at some point to a degree. And that is all facts. Now, people are trying to figure out the balance of where to stop and where to go with AI musically, this, that, and the third. It's going to be a slippery slope. Me personally, AI thumbnail, that's one thing. But an AI song, that's a problem. There's too many really great producers out here who put too much time in making really great music for you to come along and train the AI on their music. And then you put out a song. Somebody can say, give me a Timbaland type beat with a Kanye type of vocal. Like, they can sit there and prompt this thing to make something sound like producers who've taken years to hone their skills. We don't like that. We don't want nothing like that. We don't want you to be able to fake it and sit there and create art that someone else has perfected. End of the day, we're seeing these guys come up. I saw the guy, the producer, I forgot his name, Medicine. He can prompt anything. He can prompt Eminem's voice and say, give me a 1980s style hip hop song and use Eminem's voice. Like, it'll make an Eminem song from the 80s. That's what Tyga did. That's what Tyga did. Tyga made a 80s style synth album. I have not heard it, but most people say it is complete garbage. Like I said, they gave it a 0, a perfect 0. And I think that's them trying to make a statement just on AI, period. Most of the media platforms are going to take a stand on AI. They're going to support the artists, because what the labels really want to do, if you want to get real technical, is like Timbaland, they want to sign AI artists and not deal with you temperamental people who actually have real actual emotions and you have real thoughts. They literally signed AI to record deals. They signed Zane Monet to a multi-million-dollar deal, if I'm not mistaken. They signed Timbaland's AI artist to a multi-million-dollar deal. They can sign these artists, and it's not the same as you and I not wanting to do the record. We don't want to make that song. We don't want to do that video. The AI artist not going to talk back. And the AI artist not going to be a problem. They're going to prompt that thing to do anything. You need a Pepsi commercial? Sure. You need a Schlitz malt liquor commercial? Let's do it. The AI could do anything. So they're not going to stop pushing AI on you until you accept it, right? But people are really pushing back, and it's becoming an issue. Couch Potato running the jewels. Vernon Hutchinson in the building. Salute. Flash burnt. All right. Nash. So what we're seeing is with Tyga, and I believe Kanye may have been fed that too. Right? I told you Kanye was having some at one point before the apology. Kanye was having some form of money issues. Okay, before the apology, I was covering Kanye for 3 years straight, and I started to realize Kanye was doing a lot of suspect things. Right? Kanye was he gave them permission in South Africa to use his name and likeness for a show without them paying him $1. They're going to pay him later. I was like, that's not how this works at all. And so in the South Africa show ended up being a scam. They were trying to sell the tickets first before paying Kanye, which is they never do that. But for Kanye to admit to agree to that means there's a problem. So I was like, Kanye getting kind of funky with this money. That's why the apology came. So they may have approached him with this AI 2-3 years ago, and he jumped on board financially. So it's a whole thing going on. And Tyga too, right? Tyga's acting like he randomly just stumbled on AI and decided one day to use it. It's just a tool, just like auto-tune. When auto-tune came out, you guys were against it. That's true, right? And people had a real big problem, and some of us still do. Let's just keep it a buck. But when auto-tune first came out, hip-hop had a problem with it. But people like Kanye ushered it in and made it cool. Imagine if he could do that again for AI, right? But apparently he couldn't because he ended up folding on using AI, and he admitted it was there and took it off allegedly. So, and he's not talking about it anymore. So they couldn't get Kanye to fix the AI, the dissension against AI like they probably thought he would. They were like, let's try to get Kanye to make AI cool. Didn't work. Didn't work because when he brought it, I keep saying he put out Bully on YouTube with the AI, so his fans already heard it. He put it out and nobody cared. Nobody cared, right? Miss Hummer said, didn't T-Pain usher in auto-tune? He made it more. It was our auto-tune that already exists. Let's keep it a buck. Auto-tune already was a thing. White musicians was already using it. It was already a thing. T-Pain brought it over and made it popular. Him and I think the Dream. I'm not sure. I think the Dream may have used auto-tune too. Don't quote me on that. I think the Dream was right there when T-Pain came out with the auto-tune. Maybe the Dream too, right? But I know T-Pain is one of the people who made auto-tune into a much more viable product, right? And now Timbaland has jumped in with both feet with AI. Lupe is a thinker. See, like when we talk about Timbaland is he's going to shift with the money and he's going to find out where things are going. And Kanye is going to he's going to try to be ahead of the thing. Lupe is like this nerd, so he's automatically going to get into any. He's just going to be curious about it. So he jumped in now. He's utilizing it to the fullest. So it's like a lot of these guys, they got their different reasons for jumping into, in my opinion, for jumping into AI. But all of them got their own thing, right? Lady Louisa said Roger and Zap brought in auto-tune. Well, Roger and Zap had a thing. That necessarily wasn't auto-tune. That was his own proprietary thing. I believe it was called a voice box. I could be wrong, where he put the holes in his mouth. That was different, right? He was using something different. I believe his thing was he put the he would speak into it. So I'm not necessarily, that necessarily wasn't auto-tune to a degree, not the way we know it to be, right? He had his own thing. You can't even use Roger Troutman's thing without Roger Troutman, right? You can't even use his stuff without him saying you can use it, right? So yeah, like I said, in the comments, Black Mall said Roger Troutman was using the voice box. That's a little different from auto-tune. Okay, so it's a different thing. It's not the same. His stuff was more, he created that himself, all right? But I understand that. I understand the sentiment. He was doing things with his voice as well. Damon said, good to see the show back with the super chat. Appreciate you. Next time you're gone this long, I vote Miss Hummers to do the show. Dead ass. I'm with it. I agree. All right. Tiff said voice box. Lady Louisa said that's auto-tune. He created the sound. So maybe he did. But I do know his stuff was called Voice Box. And I'm not sure if he dabbled into auto-tune. I think it was completely two different things. All right. Salute. Dots Fave Center in the building. Salute. And Necro in the building. All right. Speaking to the tube and play the notes. Necro said. Oh, so Richie said, at the very end of Case of My Ex by Maya, you clearly hear her voice with auto-tune, and this was back in 01. Auto-tune been here. It has been here for a while. They used to use it with rock musicians and this, that, and the third. They're the ones who's invented it. All right. So let me see what else going on. Andy Pandy Pie in the building. All right. Oh, Lady Louisa said Kanye is working with Roger Troutman's son now. Okay. So Ye doesn't he's not saying that he's using it anymore, but this lawsuit is alleging that he did. So let me continue. Let me just wrap this story up. All right. So yeah, he had 13 custom AI models and he contributed work to Bully. The suit alleges breach of contract. The plaintiff is seeking at least $110,000 in unpaid commission plus additional statutory and treble damages. Okay, so what I think is going to happen with this case, Kanye just settled that sexual harassment lawsuit, and he settled another lawsuit in regards to, I believe, to Donda. So I believe this one will get settled as well. Kanye is on a new trajectory with the apology and things of that nature. Kanye he's trying to clean up his image. He don't want stuff like this out there, just like when they did Heil Hitler at that club, when it was Sneeko and these guys. He had a fit, he had a meltdown when they used that song because he's trying to get away from all of these things that are besmirching his name. So this one is another besmirch of his name to us, right? Because a lot of people don't agree with auto-tune, and to hear that he used auto-tune on Vultures too and Bully. By the way, even his best fans say that Vultures 2 was lackluster. And the people that don't really rock with Kanye say it was complete trash. So Vultures 2, Vultures 1, a lot of people liked. But a lot of people say Vultures 2, even his biggest supporters are saying that they felt rushed. They felt it didn't have the same oomph as the very first Vultures. And some of them did say it sounded like AI. So even his own people are saying it wasn't as good. And Kanye could be feeling that crunch and that pressure to try to match up to what he did in the past. So using AI because he's just getting he's pushed a lot of people away. When you stoop into the likes of Dave Blunt's writing your raps, you got him writing ridiculous songs like Cousins, about sleeping with your cousin, and you writing all the stuff about World War III, the racists, this, that, and the third. He turned a lot of people off, so he was bankrupt on all the people who would work with him. He even fell out with Ty Dolla $igns when he dropped Vultures 2, if I'm not mistaken. He had fallen out with Ty Dolla $igns at the time, so he really surrounded himself, or he isolated himself. So he started using AI. It's just that simple. And I believe that this guy he rushed him in and had him do AI. I believe this guy, and I believe this guy they will settle. 110 is not worth. That's a light tap on the wrist. 110,000 versus the bad publicity. Look at what they doing to Phoenix Flexing and Tyga. They're killing them over this AI stuff. So Kanye would gladly pay that money, right? Gladly pay that money to get this out of his hair, right? Salute to the Scorpio running the Joes. Big Sus Gald in the building. All right. So I believe Kanye is going to settle this. Homeboy is going to get his back. And I don't know why these people keep doing this, not paying people who have obviously done the work. I don't know why they keep doing this, gang. I have no idea. But this is becoming an epidemic where you got to chase these people down, right? You got to chase these people down for the money that they owe you. They use you for your stuff and they move on with their life. All right? And it's like now you got to sue them and this, that, and the third. It's mind-boggling. It's kind of annoying. I'm going to keep it a buck with you. All right? Richie said, I would have wrote the whole album for $50K. Shit, why not? Make sure you get your points, though, Richie. Make sure you get your points. At one point, we didn't think Bully was coming out, so that would have been a smart decision. I would have been like, yeah, get your $50K, write the whole shit, right? But Bully actually came out. I didn't think he was going to drop. I'm gonna be a buck with you because he kept pushing it back. So now it's some money mixed up in it, and whoever wrote now, they should be getting a bag. So, but before it was looking real bleak for Bully coming out. He pushed the shit back 6-7 times, but now it's out, and you would have been smart to get some points on Bully. All right, beautiful one running the Jules. Miss Hummus running the Jules. Black Ball said, I actually like that Phoenix Flexing song, Charles. It's catchy, guys. Right? This is why it's making so much noise. It's catchy. It's a catchy record. I don't know if you guys heard the Phoenix Flexing song. It's catchy. It's old-timey. It sounds like the 1920s and 30s. He clearly used AI. He keeps saying he didn't. Clearly an AI song. It has a catchy hook. That's why people want to hear it. They booking Homeboy for shows. He look crazy performing it. But it is what it is, right? See, and I said, anybody remember when Kanye said on Drink Champs, Drake was supposed to write my songs and was supposed to make my beats? I remember him saying, he said a lot of stuff. He said a lot of stuff. It is what it is. Andy Pandy said he kept pushing it back because it originally had anti-Semitic names and symbols, and the cover, he was in that KKK outfit on the cover. And a lot of people wasn't going to carry that. He kept fighting against the machine, and he realized, I'm not going to win this. So he gave up and realized it was dumb, and he apologized and changed. He went and changed gears. All right, shifted gears. All right, guys, so listen. I want to get into this next story that this happened a while back, but now there's been some motion in this story. Someone has been fired for this incident. I don't know if you guys know about this, but Snoop Dogg, he was a victim of not a victim. He wasn't there, right? But an incident happened with one of those Snoop Dogs on a shelf, like the elf on a shelf, right? They found someone had found, it's called Snoop on a Stoop. It's a parody of Elf on a Shelf. And they found it hanging by its neck from a rope in a fire station stairwell, right? We're going to get to that, but that is a racist incident, right? That is a racist incident. And they basically went out to the city to fix it, and they tried to get them to do something about it. And the city manager, I guess he moved a little too slow. I don't know what's going on, or the manager of the place or whatever. So I want to get into this story. But I just want to let you know that this, even though we feel a way about Snoop, guys, Snoop is still a black man. This is still a racist story. So this is not about how we feel about Snoop Dogg currently with his ties to the current administration. This is a story about a black man being racially profiled for no reason. Okay, let's get into it. Racist Snoop Dogg hanging doll incident ends in city manager getting fired. A city manager was fired after the council deemed his response to a racist incident involving Snoop Dogg was inadequate. Guys, this guy lost his job because he moved too slowly on this Snoop Dogg incident. This article is on allhiphop.com by Mike Winslow. A Golden, Colorado city manager is out of a job after the city council voted unanimously to fire him over his handling of a racist incident involving a Snoop Dogg doll at the fire department. Scott Vargo got the axe on Tuesday after the council decided his response to the March incident didn't cut it. That's when a Snoop on a Stoop doll, a parody of Elf on a Shelf designed to look like Snoop Dogg, was found hanging by his neck from a rope in a fire station stairwell. The city moved fast initially. They launched an investigation right away and fired the employee who put the doll there. But when other city workers found out about it weeks later, they weren't happy with how leadership handled things. That's when the real fallout started. Quote, this is an extremely difficult moment for our city, but maintaining trust is fundamental to our leadership. Mayor Laura Weinberg said, we are committed to accountability, meaningful change, and doing the work necessary to rebuild trust. Guys, that's a lot. All right? That is a lot. Let me see something. I have the video right here. Let me play this video. This is the video of the incident. This is the video of the incident. Let me see if we can get this going.
City manager of one Colorado town is now out of a job over the way he handled a racist incident involving a Snoop Dogg holiday ornament. It all started back in March when this Snoop on a Stoop ornament was found hanging by its neck from a rope at a local fire station in Golden, Colorado. After an investigation, the employee behind the prank was fired, but several officials believe city manager Scott Vargo's overall response was weak and did not demonstrate enough accountability. As a result, the city council voted to terminate his position. The Golden, Colorado City Council issuing an apology about the incident, adding in part, quote, "We recognize this was not simply an inappropriate workplace incident. It was an act with deeply painful historical meaning. It can undoubtedly cause fear, anger, grief, and a profound loss of trust." The council also ordered an independent third-party investigation into the broader circumstances surrounding the incident.
So, guys, that's just a little clip about the incident and just a little deeper into what's going on. But that did happen. They're calling it a prank, right? They're calling it a prank. That's a wild prank to take the Snoop Dogg, a Snoop on a Stoop, hanging by the neck and put it in the firehouse. Little bit more of a prank to me. That's a little bit more than a prank, guys. I'm gonna keep it a buck. A little bit more than a prank. I find it to be a little racist, right? And these guys lash out. They get tired of us moving forward and getting better and getting further along in this world. Somehow, some way, they got to do these little pranks to feel better about themselves, right? It's just what it is. They got to do these little pranks to somehow make themselves once again feel superior, right? Bev Pointer, I appreciate you for running those jewels. Andy Pandy said Colorado has some weird racial history, but I still assumed it was in Mississippi or something. Nope, Colorado, guys. I met a couple people that told me I got to go to those springs in Colorado. I'm still going to go up there. They told me you got to go to those springs, the warm springs. You got to drive out to them, and they're amazing. You got to get in those springs. So I'm still going, guys, even though they got the Snoop Dogg by the neck in the fire department. I'm still going there. All right? I'm still going there. Black Mars facetiously saying he wants Trump to come to Snoop Dogg, a.k.a. Calvin's defense. Okay? Salute the Black Mall. Flash Burn says, sadly, America hasn't changed, but they just hid it until Trump gave everyone the okay to be horrible people. Yeah, he 100% gave them the okay. They write down carte blanche. They got ICE running around here with electric gloves. Gang, is getting crazy, right? It's getting crazy, spooky, and hilarious at the same time. Journey said, this is why Black artists have to be careful when they are doing business with their people. They are never doing what they want, but they are doing what they are told. Okay. V Forbes said, these are the people that call Obama divisive. Facts. All right. Ever Never said that's not a prank. It is a hate crime. Facts. And they fired 2 people so far. I would expect probably more heads going to roll. Let me finish this article. City officials admitted they messed up. In a July statement, they said their response fell far short and failed employees and residents. They acknowledged that the dog wasn't just some dumb workplace prank. It carried serious historical weight tied to racial violence and terror. It can undoubtedly cause fear, anger, grief, and a profound loss of trust. No one should ever question whether they are respected, valued, or safe in a city workplace or while receiving services from the city of Golden. The council voted to bring in an interim city manager effective immediately. They are also moving forward with an independent third-party investigation to dig into what happened, how leadership responded, and what needs to change in the organization's culture. All right? So that's what's going on with Snoop. There was an investigation. 2 people have been fired so far. And that's what it is. That's what's going on, guys. All right. So that's another story that happened, right? I don't know if you guys heard about this. Now let me find out right now if this story is real. But I want to get to NBA Youngboy saying he's leaving the country. Right? I don't know if you guys heard about this. Let me get to I saw this on my vacation. Right? And I wasn't sure if this was real. Right? I still don't know. I'm gonna keep it a buck. I'm gonna keep it a buck. But last I heard, NBA Youngboy was all set with the US. He was leaving. He's leaving on that midnight train, right? He's leaving the USA, guys. I don't know the details. I figured when I got back, I would dig into this. But this was a story for a time. For a time. So let me dig into it and see the validity. He said he's never coming back, right? Like Special Ed, I never go back. I never go back. So let me see. I'm looking at it all over the place on all of these sites. He said he's looking for a new life in North Korea. I'm not getting a lot of these sites ain't that credible. Instagram pages and this, that, and the third. But apparently, he's all set with what's going on here. And I guess he's done beefing. And he already moved to North Korea. Right? He already moved to North Korea. This is what they're saying. And then I just saw him beefing last week with somebody. All right, let me read this article. It's a lot. It's a lot of different articles. It's a lot of different articles. I'm gonna go to this one. All hip hop. NBA Youngboy is done with the States. He's making South Korea his permanent home, and he told Funny Marco he's never moving back to America. This was on allnewhiphop.com by Mike Winslow. Youngboy just made it crystal clear that his days in America are behind him, and he's not looking back. Guys, I don't know why nobody's talking about this, but he's calling it quits here. He's sick of what's going on. Let me read this article and figure out why we're losing NBA Youngboy. All right. During a sit down with Funny Marco on Open Thoughts, the rapper revealed he's currently living in South Korea and has zero plans to ever return to the United States. When Marco asked if he'd consider moving back to the States, Youngboy's response was immediate and definitive. Never in life. The shift represents a dramatic change from his previous setup in Utah, where he'd been living on a sprawling ranch after his legal team successfully argued that relocating would keep him out of trouble. Interesting. Tizzy said, bye, NBA. Necro said he's running from a Rico. Right? He's running from a Rico. Richie said he used to be my favorite YN. The industry turned that boy weird. Okay? Nash said if he go to North Korea, he most definitely would never come back. All right. Flashburn said that's not going to end well, especially what's going on in Korea. Andy Pandy said that sounds fake as F. Unless he has committed a crime, he is scared of getting caught for. Okay. B Lover said you need special permission to get into North Korea. Let me finish this article. Neighbors there were warming up to his presence, but NBA Youngboy found something different in Korea. He explained that the country offers him a sense of freedom he couldn't find at home. The cleanliness, the safety, the overall energy of the place just hits different when you're trying to escape years of trauma and legal battles. He's been through a lot. Prison time, mental health struggles, and the weight of fame apparently have taken their toll. He consistently used his music to process that pain, but lately music isn't even his main focus anymore. Right? Let me see the comments. Big Heck said he on the run. Issy said, I don't know how much we're losing here, Charles. Andy Patty think it's a murder case. See, and I said, remember people said Chief Keef was scared and he left Chicago to LA. All right. It's a lot going on. We still got stuff to learn about this situation. During the interview, he revealed that a doctor diagnosed him with a swollen heart on the left side, something he's been dealing with while continuing to perform. That health scare seems to have shifted his entire perspective on what matters. When it comes to his future, Youngboy's keeping it real about his plans. He said he's got 1 or 2 more albums left in him before he steps away from the music industry entirely. He's also planning one final tour throughout his whole life, and that's it. The artist once seemed destined to dominate the rap game is now focused on something bigger, his kids and their financial stability. He's open to visiting America as a tourist someday, but living there again, that's a hard no. The decision to plant roots in South Korea speaks volumes about how much the American system has done to him. Between the legal issues, the trauma, and now the health complications, Youngboy's made a choice that prioritizes his peace over his career. According to reports from the interview, he's also working on a new album titled All Dogs Go to Heaven, which he plans to release before his birthday. It's a project that seems to reflect his current mindset, acceptance, resilience, and a willingness to move forward on his own terms. Youngboy's journey from Utah to Korea mirrors a larger pattern of artists seeking refuge abroad. Kanye did it, guys. He went to Japan. All right. But his situation carries the weight of genuine health concerns and years of institutional pressure. He's not running away. He's running forward to something better. The fact that he's willing to completely sever ties with the country that made him famous shows just how serious he is about his healing. All right. Black Mall said, okay, that's what it is. He's trying to sell tickets for that tour. Memphis asked a very good question. How old is Youngboy? Let's find out. I've done this before, but I don't remember. He's very young, guys. NBA Youngboy. Sometimes this thing makes stuff more difficult than it needs to be. He's 26 years old, guys. 26 years old, talking about retiring, last tour, moving to North Korea, and severing all ties with his birth country. That is a lot going on. I just saw him beefing like about 2 weeks ago, threatening somebody yet again to do this, that, and the third. He might just be tired of the constant need to prove that he's tough. Which you can do that with. You don't have to. That's what I try to tell these young guys. You don't have to prove anything. You don't got to scream every time somebody mentions your name. You don't got to go live and cuss them out for 20 minutes. You can just not do that too. You can just not do that. Natree said he got 13 kids. Yikes. That's beautiful if you take care of all of them, which I believe he is. 27 club member coming soon, right? South Korea, I understand wanting to live there. I've seen videos of black people moving over there. Different people. Going to different places. South Korea, Thailand, Taiwan. A lot of people move to these places and they try to find peace. Some of them say, I can't take it. It is what it is, right? See, and I said he's the oldest 26-year-old. Yeah, this dude got grown man issues. He got grown man problems. This is heavy as the head, gang. Heavy as the head that wears that crown. Richard said, must be nice to have the money to just up and move to another country. Everyone in LA just moves to Vegas. Okay, not like Keefy D. And we're gonna get to that Tupac trial later. Not on this episode though. But the cost of living, it should be cheaper in places like that. He should be able to live like a king for the money he got. He could probably live 50 years really well with the money he got. All right. Memphis is surprised he's ready to stop making music at 26. The Real Alchemist did the right thing, is wish them luck, right? Just wish them luck. Journey said, traveling abroad for the first time in spring next year. I've had 3 family members leave the States. People are leaving in droves. They don't like it here. Flashburn said, that's going to end badly. Let's wish the young boy well. CNI sending more jewels. I appreciate you running them jewels. Jinxie says South Korea is just okay. It felt devoid of character. Japan is better than me. That's on my bucket list. Japan is on my bucket list. I have no desire to go to Korea. I don't think that there's much there for me. I don't know from what it looks like. I see much more culture that I want to be involved with in Japan. But maybe Korea got something going on too. All right, maybe Korea got something going on too. Maybe I just don't know, and I'm looking at them as an oppressed country, and maybe it's not like that. All right. 13 kids is crazy, Charles, especially if it's multiple women, which I'm more than positive it is, right? Tiff said he's gonna make 13 more in South Korea. That's very likely. Miss Summer said, I lived there for 3 years. We were stationed there from 2016 to 2019. What part were you in? What are you talking about, guys? You talking about Japan or Korea? Which one were you guys in? Japan. Miss Lachelle said, I lived there for 3 years. My daughter is still fluent in Japanese. Is that what's called an expat? Is that Miss Hummins? Is that an expat? I just saw that show a couple years ago called Expats. The people that come to those countries from different places and they're stationed there. I think that's what an expat is. Let me know the show with Nicole Kidman. I watched that show, and I think that is what an expat is. When you somebody help me out. Somebody help me out. That's when you come from a different country and you end up there and you live there for a few years. All right. Journey said, my supervisor and a young daughter just moved to Thailand last year. She says she'll never come back, and she tells me that every black person should leave if they could. Okay, say less. Some people are working on it actively. Who knows? I would love to end up somewhere, at least for a couple years, Hawaii or something. Even though Hawaii still technically whatever, but I loved Maui when I went there. All right. Black Mall said, is the What Show back this Wednesday? Guys, I'm going to keep it a buck. I did not finish the studio. I'm remodeling the studio. I'm still waiting on some stuff to come in, so I'm going to have to sadly text with it. They might be watching. I'm going to have to sadly text TJ and Fliz that I'm not finished with the studio, guys. I'm going to keep it a buck. So unless a miracle happens, I do not see the What Show coming this Wednesday night unless they come and help me do something in the studio. But right now, the What Show going to be real hard pressed to pop up this Wednesday night. But I'm trying, guys. I'm going to try to work. I just got a lot of shit going on. But if I can get it popping by Wednesday night, 8 o'clock, then you will see us online at 9 o'clock. So we'll see. Fingers crossed, but I don't see it happening. Now I said white people just use that word expat because they don't want to be called immigrants. How interesting. Okay, beautiful Leo said it is someone who is an immigrant who lives in another country. Okay, we're getting some definition on the expat word. Let me finish. Expat is expatriates. They left the country and moved elsewhere, and they are Americans. Okay, Ms. Hummond said we call it PCS, permanent change of station. All right. Snarky T said an expat is someone who gives up your citizenship in your home country and become a citizen of another. Okay. Darius said, I am an expat. I'm in Qatar. As soon as these kids get grown, the wife going to be with me on this expat stuff. I love Qatar. Okay, there it is. Nash said expat is just a fancy word for immigrant, plain and simple. Okay, we're getting some definitive definitions on that word. Andy Pandy said, I'm sure the people of North Korea are wonderful. I'm not criticizing the people. The government is ran by a literal dictator who has killed his own relatives. Okay. Beautiful Leo said, I lived abroad for a few months in Panama. I heard you was from Panama, right? From Panama and was stationed in Germany for 4 years. Right? How my dude, old dirty bastard said, you wasn't from Panama. Ask him how it got so dark. The nigga said, son, Panama. All right. Rest in peace, the old dirty bastard. Okay, let me see. Any more expat things? Richie said, funny enough, I had a friend in Canada. She said it was a great place to live because there's really no hate and no racism. That's how I know Drake ain't went through nothing. All right. Jinx said that part. They are not expats, they are immigrants. And a lot of people love Qatar, if I'm saying that right. Last but not least, let me get to the last story. Your boy is in, if I'm not mistaken, he is in prison. And he dropped an album. And on that album, he did 51,000. Your boy Pooh Shiesty from jail, guys, from jail. Some of you guys call Pooh Shiesty the dumbest criminal in history, and that may be so. He robbed his own label head to get out of the contract in front of his father. They brought a contract for Gucci Mane to sign, and they made him say on camera, Pooh Shiesty dropped from 1017, right? Pooh Shiesty dropped from 1017, right? So Pooh Shiesty, even though he's dropped from 1017, he still went to prison for robbing Gucci Mane to get released from Pooh 17. And while he was in there, they released his album, which Gucci Mane still surprisingly gets paid for. Pooh Shiesty dropped All Eyes on Shiest, and the first week sales allegedly are in. And it debuted on the Billboard's top 10. So let's get to this. This article is on Hot New Hip Hop by Gabriel Braz-Nevarez. Pooh Shiesty's new album, All Eyes on Shiest, debuts on Billboard's top 10. With 51,000 album equivalent units sold the first week, the new album, All Eyes on Shiest, shows that Poohsty Shiest still moves the needle from behind bars, guys. He's still doing numbers, right? He's still doing numbers. There's a lot of artists that would kill for those numbers. All right? Let me continue. He recently dropped his first full-length solo project in 5 years, and he could not have come at a more turbulent time. He remains from behind bars while awaiting trial. Let me see. But even amid this drama and legal controversy, Shiesty got an impressive first week sales for his new LP. He received around 51 album equivalent units in the first week. Of those units, only 1,500 of those represent pure album sales. It's available for purchase and for digital download, and the rest are from streaming platforms, equaling 51 million on-demand official streams from the track list. That is a step down from the Memphis rapper's Shiesty Season mixtape from 2021, which sold 62 to 65,000 units in its first week and debuted at number 4 on Billboard. But he has been through so much legal trouble during and after that time, and the interest in music has always going to mix with the drama around him. All right, let me read that again. After that time, that the interest in his music was always going to mix with the drama around him. All right, there we go. As such, seeing similar success with AEOS is likely hardening for Pooh and his team. We will see if the success sticks around or if the album wanes in the rotation after release, right? Recently, Pooh Shiesty got in a rap feud after he allegedly called NLE Chopper gay during a leaked phone call. Chopper responded by calling out his comment, despite NLE's support of Shiesty, accusing him of copying his style. The two allegedly have a partner in common, as fans speculate the mother of Chopper's child is allegedly expecting a baby with Pooh. Guys, this is messy. This is messy, gang. What's going on? What is going on? All right. Beautiful Leo said, free Pooh. Free Pooh. Free Pooh Shiesty. Let me continue. As for Pooh Shiesty's Gucci Mane case, a judge recently rejected his bond proposal. There haven't been many other significant legal updates as of late, but a leaked video of the alleged robbery lit the timeline for a bit. If convicted, Pooh faces a maximum sentence of life in federal prison. Shiesty seemed to address all these narratives and more on the album, whether proactively or just because unrelated lyrics coincidentally parallel his current situation. It's led to a successful first week, albeit not a super impressive one. Regardless, considering the whirlwind around him, even getting it out there is a win. Oh, I was supposed to talk about let me get to this last case, because apparently Clarissa Shields won, right? If I'm not mistaken. Let's get to that. Congratulations on Clarissa Shields, right? Let's get to that. And apparently Latto came out in defense. Let me see. If I'm not mistaken. Let me get to that. Let me get to that. All right? Let me get to that. Boom. Clarissa because I had the article up, but now it's disappeared on me. It is what it is. All right. So, Grammy-nominated rapper Latto accompanied undisputed champion boxer Clarissa Shields for her electric ring walk on August 15th. So they pretty much came out. Let me get a picture up here for you guys because you were asking me about Clarissa Shields, this, that, and the third. So yes, I did know she won, right? If I'm not mistaken, but I did not see the actual fight. Allegedly, Latto has chosen a side and she's rocking with Clarissa Shields, which I'm going to assume is not going to be setting well with Remy Ma. All right. This is me assuming, guys. I don't know much. I don't know much, right? I don't know much, but it is what it is, right? Let me get to this story. Let me get to this story. So, apparently, where is it? Rapper Latto walked Clarissa Shields out to the ring for her middleweight fight against Kay Scott at the State Farm Arena in Atlanta, Georgia, performing her track On That live during the walkout. Latto provided a highly energized hometown entrance for Shields, who dropped down from the heavyweight division for the bout. Following the star-studded entrance, Shields went on to defeat Kay Scott via a 6-round TKO, successfully capturing the WBC and WBA Unified Middleweight World Championships and improving her undefeated record to 19-0. All right. Uh-oh. Is he in the comments? Is he in the comments? Okay, we not letting this ride or slide. Issy says she beat up someone 11 years her senior. Okay, say less. Karen said side chicks unite. Just kidding. Uh-oh, you guys getting spicy. All right, they getting spicy. Ever never said both of them sleep with married men. Makes sense. They are friends. Okay, hold up. You guys getting a little spicy in them comments. Getting a little bit spicy. Journey said, oh, look at these two coming out together. Wonder what they have in common. Oh boy. Okay. What did I miss? All right. What did I miss? Remy don't give a F. Tiff said. Tiff said Remy does not care. All right. Does not care. Tiff says she's still with a married man. I said she's still with him. All right. Gang, you guys, I can't think of many more topics in this chat that will divide this thing up quick as Clarissa Shields. Gang, I'm gonna keep it a buck. It don't even sound divisive today. It sound like you guys are pretty unified on your feelings about Clarissa Shields. It don't sound like very divisive in the comments. It sounds like all of you have decided how you feel. Okay, it sounds like you guys have all put all your eggs in one basket, and it ain't for Clarissa, guys. Latto taking the side chick is on brand. Oh boy. All right, gang. Miss Hummus with the super chats. Yeah, beloved. The comments is definitely ruthless. Definitely ruthless. Journey's blaming me. Don't blame me. I'm just telling the story, gang. I'm just bringing the news. I keep forgetting that Clarissa Shields is very divisive in this chat, gang. I keep forgetting that. All right, I keep forgetting that. But I gotta report the news, gang. Clarissa Shields won, and Latto walked her out, gang. That is what it is. All right, listen. I'm about to get out of here. I'm about to get out of here. Uh-oh. Toast God coming in trying to stir. Toast God, I'm getting out of here. I'm not getting in. I'm not getting involved with this. I'm not doing this. I'm not doing this. This chat, listen, guys, listen. I'm getting out of here. See, and I said, I got my popcorn. I'm getting out of here. I'm getting out of here. There they go. Easy wasn't married. All right, guys, listen. head on over to my guys, black-yeti.com. Let them know who sent you. They ship all over the continental U.S. CLBMG, my spread shop. Tap into that new merch. This, that, and the third merch. I did not do this on purpose. I promise you. And last but not least, go listen to my boy. Go listen to my guy, 4 Hours the Ugly Professor. He's a producer. He got some good beats on there. This album is strictly, listen, a boom bap, East Coast, DC. It got some deep lyrics. I'm rapping on there. It gets deep. It got a lot going on. It's very spicy as well. It's explicit. Don't play it around your kids. I'm gonna keep it a buck. A lot of curse words, guys. But go listen to 4 Hours the Ugly Professor, Addition by Subtraction. It's a tight album. Tight, very tight, right? Go lock in and get that. My Patreon is up. You can join my Patreon for free. Free 99. I just put a new video up last night. My Patreon going to start having way more videos than it does currently. I'm back off vacation, so we back popping. All right, and I got the membership to my YouTube channel as well. Also, like I said, the What Show may be back this week, this Wednesday, if I can get that studio up and popping in time. All right, guys, I'm checking out here. All right, I appreciate everybody that popped in for the morning show. Okay, Andy Pandy Pie, Chris Man, Karen, Regal, Bing, Tamila. All right, OGT Bella in the building, Couch Potatoes, Miss Hummus, Forbes, Toast Guard, right? And let me see who else is in here. Journey, Issy, C&I, right? We had a whole bunch of Big Sis Guard was in here. Bethany. We had a lot of the favorites. Some of my favorites in here. Intrepid Vixen, Tamila, Running Jules, guys. I appreciate you guys. Blissed out. It was a fun one, guys. And on that note, I am. You guys are full, gang. You guys are full mess, gang. I'm gonna keep it a buck. You guys are full mess. Thank you guys for tapping in. I'm gonna catch you on that flip side. Peace. I need the whole left side. Every seat by the window. I need the whole back of the bus. Everybody, move over. You too. Slide your feet over. Everything by this window. I need this. All these seats. Move over. Thank you. Excuse me. Thank you. Look. He deserve an EGOT, he hot, colored like a peacock. Idiot, slapper, scrapper, mad rapper, D-dot. Bad dopper, clapper, bad rapper. 3 shots, leak the weapons, leak the injections through off your T-top. JFK smiling down through the treetops. Like hold your head, my nigga, wait for the beat drop. Old niggas wagging fingers like it's bebop. Cowboys and girls whistling world like it's teapots. My pen to make your arm heavy G-shot. While your mom trolling steady.